Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to episode 155 of the It's Obvious Gaming podcast. I'm Preston Pugh and I'm joined by my two best pals, Garrett Drake.
Hello.
And Jacob Alka.
Good afternoon, guys. I heard what you said about me on the podcast last week, and
what?
I'm a little upset about it, if I'm being quite honest.
Jacob, I have no clue
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't remember the last, maybe 2 minutes of the podcast?
All we talked about was how awesome you were, and we can't wait for you to come back.
Maybe I need to give it another listen.
I think, yeah, you might have misheard.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just crazy.
Yeah. We're glad to have you back, Jacob, just like we said at the end of the episode. So
I was going to say, we have plenty of reason to talk about you today with that beautiful shirt on.
Is it a beautiful shirt?
Where'd you purchase?
I'm unsure of this shirt.
Where'd you buy this shirt?
Don't tell us. I was going to say that first.
Where was the last place? Oh, I was going to guess that.
Yeah, I didn't want you to guess it.
All right.
I want to spoil the game for you.
Nice shirt, though. I like the fishes.
Where are the fish
orange fish?
I didn't realize those were fish. I thought those were polka dots.
No, man.
So you have orange fish. You have a lonely island there that you and I could live on for the rest of our days if we were cast out to sea.
Like in the boat fantasy we were just discussing.
See, you and I would be on the island, and we'd be sitting there baking in the sun, and you'd be really depressed, but secretly I'm happy about it because I'm with you, and you're shirtless because it's hot. But then you see a cargo ship in the distance, and you hop up. You're like, "Hey, help us!" And I'm like, "Wait!" And I grab your arm. I'm like, "What if we weren't rescued?" And you look at me and you realize just the moment we're in and what we could have together, and we stay on the island forever.
So it has completely changed my feelings towards you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We hunt for fish.
This might not be so bad.
We spear fish and just live off the island, take dumps into the ocean. That's our toilet. The world is our toilet at that point, Jacob. So it could be Gilligan's Island at some point.
Is Preston in this at all?
No, Preston died at sea, man.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm not a good
He died of dysentery at sea. We use his corpse as a life raft, though, to go into the deep parts of the ocean.
I mean, you got to make use of your resources, right?
Yeah. I'm glad I could benefit y'all in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Smart water is so much better than any other water. Just thought you guys should know.
Why?
I don't know.
To make you more intelligent?
Yeah. I'd like to think so.
I'm sure people have made that joke a billion times.
Yeah.
There's a fish in this water, too, see?
I mean, the main thing for me is the bottle.
It's a good bottle.
Good bottle.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I get a smart water pretty much every morning with my my black coffee at the gas station. So I do like smart water. I like smart water and Deer Park water.
I'm not a big fan of Deer Park.
You know, like the spring water.
Mm-hmm.
See,
I enjoy Deer Park.
I enjoy the spring water. You acknowledge there's a difference in taste between spring and regular water.
Definitely.
Because there are people that will refute that.
No. That's false.
It is false, and it drives me nuts that people who think that just waters taste the same. Mm-hmm. It's not true at all.
Yeah, all kinds of waters taste different. Like, have you had, what is it, Fiji water?
Yeah, it tastes different.
Very different.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Dasani, honestly.
Me neither.
I'm really not either. I just drink it all the time.
I'm not a big fan of. Yeah,
it's just what I have access to.
My wife always buys, I'm not even joking, I have 6 cases of Dasani water in my
I mean, honestly, if it's
now.
really cold, though, you can't really tell because the water's so cold.
See, I don't like to drink cold water.
I love cold water.
Me too.
Room
like ice cold
water.
Oh, man.
Besides this podcast, which I slowly sip my water, outside of this, if you hand me a water bottle, I'm drinking the entire thing in one gulp.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really sip on it. And if it's cold...
Wait, you think that you slowly sip your waters on the podcast?
Oh, I slowly sip it
pretty quickly.
as opposed to when I'm not on a podcast.
We usually finish them before we even start.
Yeah. Well, that's slow compared... Like I said, I typically just down the entire thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I can only do that if it is room temperature. If it's freezing cold, I'll give myself a brain freeze.
That's the worst.
And we can't have that now, can we?
Absolutely not.
No, we can't. Guys, how's y'all's week been?
Fine. I did nothing significant.
That's really good.
Yeah. What about you, Jacob?
Just did what I usually do, you know?
Yeah, same as me.
So boring.
It was a very boring week. Nothing happened.
I mean, I had a good week, I guess. I was in a good mood all week. So that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
I worked this week. So that's new.
That's new.
I love the awkward pauses in podcasts.
We usually don't have any unless we have like these weeks where there's nothing to talk about.
Did we play a lot of video games this week?
I played games. Did I play something new? I wouldn't say that, but I did.
Well,
play
nothing
games.
new really came out, so
That's true.
Well, technically there did, but nothing that's in our radar. Yeah.
Well, Detroit,
Detroit, huh?
It's the PlayStation exclusive, so it definitely is something we normally do.
I hear the platinum's not too bad.
Yeah. I don't know. I know we discussed this briefly before we started, but I'm still not quite sure yet if I'm gonna dive into that game or not. I'm sure
for sure that you would have bought it. Bought it.
Wow.
Bought it.
Just
at
like
this point.
eviscerating the English language right now. I don't
know,
know, man. I never played Heavy Rain. I enjoyed Beyond Two Souls for what it was. This type of game is just something I really have to be in, the mood for. And I don't necessarily know if I want to just drop $60 on this particular type of experience right now.
Yeah.
I know it's been received well, and I'm sure it's fantastic, but like I said, I don't know if I'm really in the mood for something like that. I'm actually in a gameplay mood right now, which is why every single week when I come on here and I talk about what I've been playing, I'm just bouncing back and forth between a million things. I'm trying to find something that will, get a hold of my attention before all the games this holiday season come out that that I'm looking forward to.
Have you found just one thing to really grab you yet, or are you still
maybe
jumping around?
I became yesterday infatuated with one title that I'll talk about in a second. That took
Was it the same one that you talked about last week?
No, this is a brand new game. Microsoft exclusive title.
Whoa.
Yeah, State of Decay 2.
Oh, you betrayed us.
Yeah, I know.
You've been playing it?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm playing that shit game. Totally kidding. No, it is a Microsoft
it on PC?
game. Yeah, I've been playing Gears of War 4.
I saw that yesterday.
Yeah, I for some reason I was just like I do every time I try and play a game, I just sit down and I look through everything I have, just trying to find something that calls out to me. And Gears of War never calls out to me because it's not in my Steam library. It's part of the Windows Store on my PC, and so I just randomly remembered I had that game. I was relatively early in it, and I don't know. I just had the urge to play it, and I played it pretty much all day. A majority of that time through the campaign, which is a lot of fun. Graphically, it's stunning. That game is really, really good looking. It just really impressed me. Wherever I started, just going through the environment and stuff, just how good the game looked. Plays excellent.
Are you playing a keyboard and mouse or a controller?
Yeah,
okay.
Keyboard and mouse.
You played it on the Xbox, correct?
I did.
Okay.
And the only really nitpick I have with it is the new characters that are introduced. I don't like them. They have constantly annoyed me the entire time I've played the game. There is
You don't like any of them?
Not really. I mean, Marcus Phoenix is in the game, which I like him.
Spoilers.
Yeah, sorry, man. You're playing as a son.
Game been out
now? Quite a while, but I guess since the game's been out a while, there's something that happens with one of the characters in the game, and you have to go save them. And this should be an important thing that they're doing, trying to go save this character, and the entire way to this person, everybody's just like cracking jokes every 5 seconds. Everything that happens, somebody has to make some smart ass comment or joke, and I'm like, we're trying to go save this person, could be dead, and we're going to save this very important person to you, family member, and we're just like making dumb jokes that every time one would go off I would sigh because they weren't clever or anything, just dumb jokes. Then we get this person and we continue on, and it's just the same stuff, just snarky joke, and we're the overall goal is something very important. And one of the characters who isn't making a snarky joke, the female in the group, completely, I don't remember any of these people's names. She, if I were her, this is mainly from what I can take from the story, because when I initially played this game, it was months ago. So when I jumped back into the story, I was kind of forgetting what was going on. But I'm pretty sure this is her story. We're trying to go do something for her. If I were her, I would have been like, y'all need to shut up. Like, this is important to me. Like, tons of my friends and family members were trying to find them and save them, and all y'all are doing is just joking about everything. So if I were her, I would be pissed off at these guys. So that's the only thing that's really sticking out that's kind of annoying me. But
sounds like it annoys you a lot.
It sticks out so much because then you get to an emotional moment and like the music starts and there's like it's like they're like, feel this emotion, and I can't. Like, you joked non-stop the entire way here, and all of a sudden I'm supposed to like care when you're sad and stuff. It's a little too. I'm fine for having the one character who's making a comment every now and then, but I can't even remember the character's name, but he is just like literally relentless with it. So it's the first time something like that in a game has really been in like the forefront, and has annoyed me as much as it has. But besides that, I think it's a really, really fun game. Just the classic Gears gameplay is fun. I love that mechanic of reaching over cover, and like if you're up against cover and there's an enemy on the other side, you can physically reach over, grab him, pull him over, and just stab him in the chest or the head, and that's very rude. Yeah, it's very satisfying. A little bit rude as well. So yeah, single player is awesome. I'll probably finish it up this week. That's the only game in a long time that actually, after I've played it, I really want to go back and continue it. So I definitely will finish that this week. And then I played a lot of the multiplayer as well. I'm playing in the social quick play, and I could be wrong, but based on what I saw online, I believe it is cross-play with Xbox people. And I think it probably is, because I have just been molly-whopping people. Just absolutely no contest at all. Yeah. Like in Gears of War, I got like almost 20 kills, which is like unheard of for me, especially when I played on console. Just the classic shotgun thing, just with keyboard and mouse, aiming from the hip with a shotgun is like, it's almost impossible to not hit them, because it's just so easy to aim. Especially like with the Lancer too. I know that's a big problem. Me and you have talked about how the game pretty much requires you to use the shotgun to be good. But like I said, aiming with a mouse in this game is so easy that if somebody is charging you, you can just lay into them and know that you're getting every single shot with the Lancer, and they'll down fairly easily.
That's cool.
So yeah,
I wouldn't mind dabbling that again with you.
Yeah.
If I have it on Xbox, does that mean I have it on PC as well?
No. It has to be the digital version.
Okay.
I think you can play with me from Xbox,
dude.
But I think it's like really cheap now.
It'd be fun to dabble in. I have a whole backlist of things to get to.
I know you have a lot on your plate as it is.
I do. So
but, if you ever had the urge to
maybe later on.
Yeah. But besides that, I just dabbled in everything I've been dabbling in the past couple of weeks. I'll play a couple of matches of Call of Duty. Yeah, Black Ops 3.
Oh yeah, that's
on a PC. I've been dabbling in that. When I just have 10 minutes to play something, I'll play that.
So you guys spoke about Call of Duty last week, right?
Black Ops 4.
I am excited for the PC client this time around.
Yeah, me too, man.
The first time I've ever been excited to play Call of Duty on PC.
I'm genuinely excited about it.
So wanted to mention that because I wasn't here.
I'm glad you're excited as well.
Did you watch the whole reveal?
Yeah, I mean, I missed some of it at the beginning, like some of the zombie stuff, but I saw everything.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Seems like they're trying to integrate story in other ways than a campaign.
Yeah, we'll see if it pays off for them.
Yeah,
I think it will.
I think it will too.
We'll see how that
like we said,
is.
If it were Infinity Ward dropping the campaign, I would shed tears. But the fact that they're coming off of Black Ops 3's kind of rather mediocre campaign, I'm not too worried about it. Gameplay, though, kills it. Very excited to see Blackout. Hopefully in 2 weeks.
I heard some people predicting that Blackout is not even going to release at launch.
Really? Can you imagine?
Yes, I can.
Holy crap! There would be an uproar.
There would be an uproar. I can hear it already. I can read the post. Us here at Treyarch are trying our hardest to make sure Blackout is the best battle royale experience you can have, and due to that, we're unfortunately going to have to delay the release of Blackout for a set amount of time. But we have a robust zombies. 3 robust zombies.
We're still going to sell the game for $60,
and so I could totally see that happening.
Yeah, that would not be good.
The only evidence I've seen or heard people use to back that claim up is we haven't seen any Blackout footage, and if Blackout was as far along as it should be for it to
they would have come out swinging.
But how many times do we see at E3 campaign footage and aren't shown multiplayer footage until months later? Like, that's very common with Call of Duty. Even World War II, we saw multiplayer footage very early on. About right now, we didn't see campaign footage for that game in forever. So that is fairly common for Call of Duty to not show us everything. Now, does that necessarily mean that the Blackout isn't going to get delayed? No, but I don't think that means for sure that it's going to be delayed either.
I kind of have a feeling they'll show something related to that at E3.
Yeah, I feel like they should, because they obviously want to have a presence there, and they can't blow their load at the reveal
event.
If
we haven't seen Blackout by August, September, I think then I'll be a little more about this.
Maybe they do something at Gamescom. I don't know. If they don't do E3.
I mean, it seems like I don't know, but we'll see. That's definitely the don't get me wrong, the multiplayer looks awesome. We talked about it in depth last week, but I'm extremely interested in Blackout. That seems
you and me both
really, really, really cool. But I believe that's all I really played this week.
Nice.
Garrett, did you play anything?
I did. I played Moonlighter. What's the studio's name? I can't remember. I already forgot. Indie developer. It was one of the first games I played at E3 last year. The first game I ever wrote about in my life for COG Connected was Moonlighter.
Wow.
And it was very intriguing at the time, and that holds true. It actually graphically came a long way. Granted, I think it's only like 16-bit, maybe a bit more. I'm not a master of my bits on old school looking games.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, but I think it's 16, but it looks even improved from the original version I saw over a year ago. Which is besides the point, but the gameplay essentially is you're a shopkeeper named Will, who owns a shop who originally belonged to your father. The shop's called Moonlighter. And you live in a village that is next door to these ancient, mysterious dungeons that are procedurally generated, that all these warriors and merchants go into to gather supplies and gear and then come back out and then sell it to the village to make money and keep their shop afloat. Yeah. And that's the whole gameplay loop, is you own this shop, and you either by day or by night, there's no like, what I enjoy about it is there's not really a time limit. It isn't like you need to go into the dungeons this time, you need to be in the shop this time. That would really stress me out. It's really up to you to be subjective about it. Let's say I wake up and I want to sell whatever loot I have in my store. You literally put your loot out on display, you make the prices, and people will either buy it or not buy it. And there's like a series of emotions that the shopkeepers have that'll tell you how well you're doing. You also have a journal that tells you what items are in demand, which ones are no one's interested in, or which ones you're selling too much. It's really about managing like the market and the economy of your town, and like really playing the market well to make the most bang for your buck. So let's say you run out of loot, you gotta go to these procedurally generated dungeons, and there's 5 of them total, and each one has multiple levels, and the 5th one there's some crazy surprise at the end. I haven't made it that far in the game. I'm playing it for the video version of COG's review. The review's already written. I think it's published on the 28th, which is Monday?
Has that happened already?
Monday or Tuesday? No, today's the 27th.
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah, so tomorrow it'll be live. But I just gathered gameplay to make the video version. But anyway, I liked it a lot. I mean, according to the review, it never really gets to a point where you feel like it never progresses to a point where it's like truly, truly satisfying. Like you can, of course, over time upgrade your shop and expand it and make a larger building and more tables to sell gear. You can upgrade your armor over time and your weapons, but I can't remember the review score. I don't even think I'm allowed to say it, but anyway, it's kind of fun. You go into the dungeons; they're all randomly generated, and you can fight various difficulty versions of enemies and gather their loot. And if you die, you lose everything you went in with. So you have to choose when you're going to leave the dungeon and how daring you want to be to go further in. And eventually, you fight a boss at the end and complete that specific dungeon.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun. You need to just gather your stuff. You're like, oh, I got this really rare item that I can sell for a crap ton of money. And you, in turn, use that money to not only add different shops to your town, like an armory and what's the word I'm looking for? I can't. It's like a magical word. Enchantments. That's what it is. A lady who will make enchantments for your gear as well. And those can expand over time.
So you need gear to go into the thing and fight things?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
In order to progress properly, you need stronger weapons, stronger gear, blah, 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 blah. And also what's interesting, it isn't just, oh, you made money, now you can buy this item. Not only do you have to purchase the item, you have to gather the materials to make said item. So you can either keep those items for yourself and invest in better gear, or you can sell them to make more money. It's like a balancing act. So it's a really charming little game. I think it would kill on Switch, pretty much like everything
that
kills
was
on
be my
Switch.
question. Where are you playing it on?
On PS4, some PS4, Xbox, and PC at the moment, I believe.
Okay.
Switch port, I believe, is on its way. I don't get why developers aren't like... I mean, I know Switch isn't having...
This game might have been developed...
obviously, PS4 has the largest console player base at the moment, but Switch is would be a perfect place for it, I think.
Yeah.
I think typically games like this, if I'm not mistaken, based on a few... or the data that's come out is they sell more than on Switch than like all
even
the
on
other,
PS4 and stuff.
Well, all the other consoles combined. Games like
that,
the indie games like this.
What's that one game called? The like the farming harvesting game.
Oh, Stardew Valley.
Yeah, that game's killing on Switch.
Yeah, coming to Vita too.
Yeah, if you guys sort of like, if you're a I can't even remember the name. We just said it.
Moonlighter.
No, not Moonlighter. The one we just said before. Stardew Valley. I always want to call it Harvest Moon. Obviously, it's inspired by Harvest Moon. But if you even like that sort of gameplay loop, but with, I guess the combat isn't much different from Stardew Valley, but more of like a mystical feel to it, where you manage a shop instead of a farm. If you like that sort of gameplay, I think you'd really like.
What's
Moonlighter.
the art style like?
Like 16-bit.
You said it was sick. Like,
yeah, it kind of
colorful. Is it more?
It's
like
colorful.
Somber.
Yeah, it's pretty colorful. It looks like imagine Stardew Valley in your head, but like in a medieval setting is what it looks like. So, yeah, pretty solid. Cool. I'm not going to finish the game. I don't really have a desire to, but from what I've played, I thought it's pretty cool, and I think the right audience would really be into it. Yeah, for sure.
I know you said Harvest Moon really quick. Did you see that there is a new Harvest Moon game coming?
I did hear about that. I know it's going to be at E3.
Have you seen what it looks like?
I have not.
This is PS4.
That's PS4?
Yeah, I'm showing...
it looks like handheld, like 3DS or something.
Yeah, it looks like an iPhone game.
Yeah, it
What's it called?
It's called Harvest Moon Light of Hope.
Man, Harvest Moon's struggling.
Like, look at the character models and the
dude, how funny would it be? Game. How funny would it be if that is inspired by Stardew Valley? Like, what a weird turn of events.
I don't know.
Or Stardew Valley, the guy was he's like completely honest about it. He's like, I am 100% inspired by Harvest Moon. And then I remember in the book, in Jason Schreier's book, he talks about when the Harvest Moon creator tells him that he enjoyed Stardew Valley. Yeah. So I wonder if in turn they're like, well, let's take a cue from this guy who took a cue from us.
That's a $30 game. Okay. And I do not know the history of it. It very well could be a mobile port or something like that.
Right.
But in a post Stardew Valley world, and granted, that's maybe a little mean. We're purely going off of the aesthetics of what it looks like, but it does look really graphically. It looks really bad. So who knows? Maybe it could be the best harvesting game, whatever they're called, that's out there. So
it's the best game at harvesting crops.
Off of first looks, like you said, it looks like a straight mobile game. So
it does.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bless him. Yeah. I remember last year's Harvest Moon was also not received very well.
I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah, it was a big booth at E3, and I remember people just having a lot of bad things to say about it. So
maybe they should just hire on Stardew Valley, man. Today, I think one guy made that game.
Stardew Valley? Yeah, it was one guy, yeah. He spent forever on it, too.
Yeah, just hire him.
Yeah.
Throw all that. We'll give you guys, your next one will be so much faster. We'll give you budget and everything, slap Harvest Moon on.
How about there's a Harvest Moon?
I know he's working on a new game. At the end of that chapter in Jason Schreier's book, he mentions he's working on something new. I can't remember what it is. I think he's contracted other people to work on the multiplayer side of things, and I think that's very close to being out or is out now, if I'm not mistaken. Can't remember, but that's close. Because that was promised in his original Kickstarter campaign.
The multiplayer?
Yeah. So
nice.
That's why the Shovel Knight guys, Yacht Club Games, have been still working on DLC for that game because they promised it originally. They're like, we're going to hold true to our word. So,
that's cool.
God bless them.
Yeah.
I have not had a chance to play yet, but I am going to be reviewing Vampire for COD Connected.
Vampire.
Vampire, right. Vampire. It is funny.
And I say that because it's spelled with a Y-R.
Right.
That's the joke.
That is the joke.
Everybody. There it is.
Very excited to get into it. Obviously, I've mentioned my intrigue of it since last year when I saw it in action. I just love the setting. I love the idea behind the character being a doctor and the morality aspect of the game and choosing who you're going to kill, who you're not going to kill, and the repercussions of doing said acts. So I'm going to see how I feel once I get into the game. I'm gonna really let my feelings dictate my decisions in this game. There's just like a douchebag that I just feel like eating. I'm going to eat him. I'm going to rip his throat out with my teeth and drink his blood. I was telling the boys when I had the opportunity to review the game, I told them the streets of London will run red with the blood of the innocent if they piss me off.
So I really
it is.
hope this game is good.
Me too. At the very least, I hope it's just, that was a fun game.
Yeah.
Because even after coming off of God of War, I don't need it to be that amazing.
Oh, it's not going to be.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because I've had to manage my expectations because God of War is so good, and even for a third-person game or a game with third-person combat that's spectacular, I can't go into every game henceforth being like, well, if it's not as good as God of War, I'm not going to like it.
Yeah,
even if it's Batman style, I'll be happy with it.
I think having tampered expectations for this type of game, with it being more of a AA game, that's actually what I'm interested in. Is I know that they can take more creative liberties and do something different with it, being this type of game, not really held to, not with like a publisher's gun against their head for it to meet check certain boxes off that this game has to have and stuff. So that definitely makes me excited. The gameplay, I know they did a hour live stream a few weeks ago, and I skipped throughout it, watched some of the combat and stuff, and it definitely looks at the worst serviceable combat wise, but I don't know the depth of it. Blah blah blah. But I have faith that I think it's at its worst. I hope it'll be a fine game.
Yeah, oddly enough, I'm more interested in the characters and direction of the story of the game, because obviously this is coming from the original creators of Life is Strange, which I was very satisfied with. I never finished, but I got about halfway through the game right before I went to, I think it was E3 or PAX, where I was going to be interviewing the guys who worked on Before the Storm, which were different developers, but were going back to do the prequel of Life is Strange. So I needed to be caught up on Life is Strange story. So I ended up watching like a detailed analysis of the rest of the game. So I'm very familiar with that story, and I ended up being very impressed with it and thought it was very interesting.
You should have just made up everything. Yeah. So when Bill cuts his throat,
when he became a Super Saiyan, which is really out of left field.
Excuse me, Bill.
But that story was awesome, especially just the characters themselves. So I'm hoping that translates into Vampire, and that setting I think has a lot of potential to be really interesting. So even just the synopsis, the doctor becomes a vampire and he has to manage being a doctor and being having a lust for blood. So it's cool. And your own lust for power as the player, because you got to choose, like, do I want to be super powerful very quickly and deal with the consequences, or do I want to be the hero who is kind of moderately powered?
Yeah, I really like that scenario that you talked about after E3 with the old lady, with her in possession of something that you could get, or sparing her would give you more or less. I don't know. I forget the exact details, but just if there were multiple situations like that, or if that is just the norm in that game, every town has an abundant of like situations like that. That's what I want. Yeah, that's cool.
That's what I love too, is that I think they said if you chose to what did you say that one week? To suck her? Who said, "Oh, I'm going to suck you" or something? We were talking about something, and you said something like, "Oh, it sucked me." You said, "Oh, yeah, it was in Bloodborne." You're like, "I hate when those things suck me." And I thought it was hilarious. If you choose to suck the lady, that affects other quest lines in that area, and even areas beyond that one, I believe. So if you steal this item she has, one of her neighbors who was her best friend may deny you something, or it may affect their quest line. So
I have to correct the grammar I did just because I can't let it go. I said, I hope there is an abundance of quests like that.
You hope there's an abundance of quests like that?
Yeah, that's correct grammar, right?
Yeah. I said you hope there's an abundance of cool quests like that.
I said abundant.
Abundant quests
so
like
I need to correct that.
Okay.
Because I don't want it to...
It's all right.
To stay out there that I'm as stupid as I am.
Okay. 2 questions before we move on. One, when is the game coming out?
June.
I know the embargo's June 5th. I think maybe the release date's the same day. I don't know. I have no idea.
No, let's find that.
I'm going to find it.
And then 2, did I forget my extra question? I think I did.
Vampire.
It's unfortunate.
June 5th?
June 5th.
June 5th.
Excellent.
Is that bad that embargo's on release day?
Could be. We will see.
Could be.
Pulling a Bethesda.
Couple things. I've got to poop. Very badly.
June 5th is next Tuesday.
Yeah, so...
Very exciting. Dude, then E3 is that weekend.
Yeah.
Dude, next weekend is E3, Jacob.
Very thrilling.
How exciting.
Very thrilling.
How exciting.
It's going to be
see
a hoot.
Fallout 5, Elder Scrolls 6,
yes.
Last of Us 3. So excited.
Assassin's Creed 10.
Yeah. Could not be more hyped.
I agree.
So you said you had to poop. Are you going to poop?
No. I'm going to wait till the podcast is over like usual. Next week will be our big E3 prediction week. Because it's going to roll right into E3.
Hang on.
What? I've already calculated this. Trust me.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
So if it's...
Think of it this way. I'll put it in a clear... I'll paint it clearly for you.
Oh, this weekend.
Yeah.
My apologies.
See, this week is whatever week. I guess Battlefield 5 week. We'll talk about it. And then following Monday will be June 6th, correct?
Yeah.
No, Monday is Wednesday. June 6th is Wednesday.
The 4th.
All I'm trying to say is our podcast will be out a whole week before E3 begins.
That's
our prediction
this
week.
podcast.
No, it's not.
That's what I'm looking at.
E3 is not this weekend. It's the following weekend. So our think of it this way. Just look at me for a second. I promise.
Oh, you're right. I'm reading the calendar wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry. So
yeah, Battlefield, our Battlefield podcast launches this Monday, goes through to next Sunday. Mm-hmm. Following Monday, our E3 predictions podcast comes out. It rolls right into the weekend, perfectly timed for E3 actually happening.
Yeah. It's not this weekend.
The following weekend. Next weekend. Correct.
I read the calendar wrong.
It's okay. I panicked last night about it too. I was like, crap, did we wait too long?
When are you leaving?
The 9th, I think. I have to double check.
Okay. Are you going
what day is the 9th?
That's Saturday.
That's the EA day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are going to the EA thing.
Don't want to miss that.
No. I'm hoping to play Battlefield while we're there. I hope I get to. Yeah. I don't know if I'm assigned to that or not. We'll see.
You got to play Battlefront last year.
I did.
Are you playing some Smash Bros?
If it's there, maybe.
Oh, it'll be there.
I'm not the big... there's a really big Nintendo fan on COG's team that's going, though, so he'll more than likely, if there is hands-on with Smash Bros., he'll be the one to play it. I'll try to get in there, though. We'll see. I bet their booth is going to be awesome. Like last year, it was...
They're going to put you on Final Fantasy.
New Donk City, and then I heard the year before that, with Breath of the Wild, they had actual grass in their booth. Like, the whole thing was grass and, like, mountainous and stuff. Important. I bet that was awesome. Yeah. So what will it be this year?
I don't know. Maybe they'll recreate one of the stages in Smash Bros.
Yeah, I was thinking how cool it would be if they had
Metroid Prime.
God, the whole thing. Like the one from 64.
Like, how would they decorate a booth dedicated to Smash Bros? Because that will be huge at E3. Mm-hmm. I mean, they always have the biggest line.
And if the Pokemon leaks are true, oh my God, dude! If it's coming out this year, I'm gonna go insane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little about this Pokemon game.
Don't even, Preston. Don't even.
I don't think it's gonna be what I.
You guys want to take 5 seconds to speculate in silence?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start right now and think about Pokemon. Did you guys come up with anything?
Based on the speculation, it doesn't seem like the big reboot that I want it to be.
No.
Yeah, which is what I want.
Yeah.
What are they doing, man?
Making
Think
money.
about what they have.
Making money.
What they have in their hands and what they could do.
They know what they have.
Yeah.
They just have no need to change it yet.
Because
sales are still high.
It hasn't hit the saleness, the point where people are sick of the formula that it's kept.
I think maybe the next one we might see some changes, but I don't think they've had a lot of time since Sun and Moon, and then the one that after Sun and Moon, like the same versions, but
Ultra Sun,
Ultra Moon.
I mean, just being on Switch in general is great. So
yeah, that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play it. Don't get me wrong.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
And apparently the star is going to be Pikachu and Eevee. Like, come on, dude.
That's pretty
There's
cool.
so many Eevee possibilities. I think it has like 8 evolutions. You could go anywhere you want. Any which way, Garrett. How does that make you feel?
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we do, I don't even know if we should be talking about it because not that it matters, but yeah. But I do want to do like a whole predictions thing next week. I'm assuming that's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's the plan.
I'm coming prepared. I'm gonna
come about halfway prepared.
What are we predicting? Like,
we're gonna go break down each conference, predict what we're gonna see.
Okay.
I guess that's it. So
yeah, pretty easy.
I have some pretty bold predictions.
So we should have some for every conference.
I want it to be in sections, realistic predictions.
Oh, totally. And then fantasies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a layout for this.
We'll come up with it.
Yeah, we will.
We'll come up with it. But is there any Jacob? What did you play this week? If you wouldn't mind telling us.
Oh, sure.
Besides Destiny, because I
caught you.
Destiny.
He caught me on Destiny.
Caught your
last
ass
night.
playing Destiny.
You son of a bitch.
That's what I messaged him.
Did you? It's like, what are you doing? But yeah, I just get on there sometimes during the weeks, and I do a couple milestones, get better gear.
How do you feel when you get that better gear? Do you look at your character and go,
not really. I just kind of do it. It's kind of weird. Just playing the game, getting gear. I'm just like, maybe I'll be ready for September.
Did you finish the new DLC and everything?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I haven't done like the new public event, like in-game activity, the escalation protocol or the raid, so I just kind of do casual.
What do you
stuff.
think about this new emote that everybody's talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know about this?
No.
This is all the rage in the Destiny community right now.
Really?
There is an Iron Banner exclusive emote that can only be purchased with real world money.
Oh no!
In the set amount of time that
you can't get it from Iron Banner.
No,
but
it's Iron Banner exclusive. It's only when Iron Banner's there.
So it's only there for a week.
Yeah, and you have to buy it. Guess how much this emote is?
$25.
Oh gosh, you can't guess higher because now it makes it seem like not that much.
It's $10.
$10.
Oh my god!
$10 for an emote. Yeah. What does the emote do?
The picture, it looks like there's just like an Iron Banner shield in front of you, and you're like holding a sword, like a knight. But that pose,
$10.
There's not even a wolf from like Rise of Iron or anything.
I don't know what happens if it's moving and stuff, but based on the picture I saw. But the thing people are pissed off about is that it is only in this window of time, and there's no way to earn it.
Yeah,
you gotta pay for it.
It's so
blows.
Yeah.
Like, why can't it just be complete 10 matches of Iron Banner?
Exactly. That's what people are pissed off about, because apparently the raid has 2 specific emotes that are awesome, and they make sense with the raid. Apparently there's a mechanic where you have to throw something to another teammate.
Okay.
And there's an emote where he's like I'm open. Like the 2 emotes make sense with the raid. So people were saying, why can't y'all do that with Iron Banner?
Yeah.
Make it specific to that. So I don't know.
I don't know what went wrong there.
When I first read it, I thought, oh, this has to be for some like charity like Blizzard was doing with that pink Mercy skin.
I bought that, by the way. It's an awesome skin.
I did. Which, that's
the sound
cool.
effects on the skin are
for
cool.
Just a cosmetic thing to be that expensive, I just automatically assume, this is for charity maybe. But it's for the charity.
You gave them the
Bungie.
benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
The charity of Bungie. They may need it at this point for all we know.
Maybe.
They might.
I'm hoping the expansion in September is so awesome that I'm mad at myself for not keeping up with Destiny 2.
I don't know if it can be that good.
I hope it comes out and I'm like, dag nabbit!
I got so much work to do.
Yeah, exactly. I hope it's that awesome.
If it's like the Taken King, you won't even need to. They'll give you an orb.
Yeah, there you go. You'll just get a free character.
That'll just boost you up to where you need to be to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing that very casually. Also playing Overwatch still. Playing a lot of that, actually. I'm trying to really get into the competitive.
I reinstalled Overwatch yesterday. I thought that would be one of the games I'd just see what was going on with. But like I said, I stuck with Gears, so I never got to it. But it's on my computer.
There you go. It's ready to be played.
I can't believe
so maybe
I have
me
not
and you
picked
could,
it up yet.
Yeah, man.
Could dabble around in that at some point.
Sure, let me know.
How do you feel about that?
I'd love that.
All right.
I'd love to play some Overwatch with you.
You and me had some good times. You waiting for me to come back?
Dude, get out. No. Me and Jacob are talking right here, dude. No.
Yeah,
So,
you've had your chance.
this is our desert island. So.
Yeah.
Jacob,
I'm gonna get an island with him now.
I'm not the dead man bloating in the sea. That's Preston.
You don't get to make that choice.
Well,
It's fine. If our boat ever sinks, I'll make sure to tie you to the anchor.
Have you guys seen that new, what is it, like raft game? I saw some people streaming it.
I've seen it.
I think it's early access.
I think it's
right
just
now,
called
but,
Raft or something like that.
But you literally build a boat and you're like stranded at sea and you have to like collect things in the water.
Sharks will attack.
And you can build stuff and it's kind of cool.
There's a game that came out like that
cool.
not too long ago. It's called something else.
I remember seeing Let's Players play it.
Yeah.
At least they're on an island and they can build a boat to like row to other islands and stuff. I know this is out of left field again, but it is an indie horror game. I don't know if y'all have heard about it. It's called Beware.
I've not.
Nope.
It is a horror driving game. horror driving game.
Driving game.
Yes.
Interesting.
The synopsis I read and the screenshots I saw is you're driving by yourself on a
Highway?
no, like a backwoods road.
Okay.
And the objective is to chase cars, but it's horror, and I don't necessarily know how it's.
Is it horror or is it horror?
Horror.
Okay.
I don't know, but apparently it is, and I don't know why. Based on what I read, it doesn't sound scary, but the screenshots definitely look a little eerie. But the guy that was writing it says it is so horrifying when you're just by yourself in the car on this road, and then you see in your rearview mirror just like two lights come over and somebody's chasing you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they just chase you.
Yeah. I don't know, but there was a Reddit post I could have gone to read spoilers about the mission, but there's a free demo right now on PC, so I thought about picking it up to see if it actually is scary or not. So.
Well, I like horror games, so maybe I'll play it.
Yeah, you'll have to let us know if you try it out. It does sound intriguing.
Son of a bitch. Just trying to pronounce it correctly.
But besides that, I played some more Donkey Kong.
Some Danky Kang.
Oh yeah, I love the Dank. He's great.
Funky Kang.
He's great. I still haven't used Funky Kong. I feel like that's kind of cheating, so I'm not going to use him.
I might use him, man. I told you I could hardly beat the second level.
Have you gotten to the Savannah yet?
I have not.
Savannah is so cool.
Nice.
With the music, especially.
Savannah.
Yeah,
Savannah. Savannah.
Well, that was really cool games discussion, guys.
Yeah,
You
it
wanna
was.
talk about the news shit now?
I guess we could get to that.
It's great. This is the ItsObviousGaming podcast, the show where my two best friends and I get together every single week to discuss video games and other things, obviously. Please subscribe to us at youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming. If YouTube isn't good for you, or you'd like to take us on the go, you can find this podcast weekly on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Audio Boom, and other podcasting services. Please check the description down below for timestamps to skip throughout the podcast, social media links, PlayStation community, Discord channel, all that stuff you would ever need to get in contact with us. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel down below and be sure to like and comment to get involved with the It's Obvious community. Doing so helps us out tremendously, and we'd forever be in your debt. With all that out of the way, hey man, what's the news?
Jacob, were you offended when Preston said he didn't like Dasani water and just realized you're drinking Dasani water?
No, because
everyone that I hang out with doesn't
me.
like Dasani water, so I get.
There's
shit about
nothing
it all the time.
bad with it. It just doesn't have its unique taste that all these other companies
So you would say
have.
it tastes like nothing.
It tastes like water.
Yeah. But Coke makes it. It must be good.
I'll drink Dasani, but it's not my favorite. Enhanced with minerals for a pure, fresh taste.
I mean, I don't drink it at home. I only drink Dasani when I go somewhere.
I feel you.
Like when
I
my
have
wife
Brita at
comes home with these, unacceptable. I send her back out to go get something else.
Oh, Preston doesn't like the Publix water.
It tastes like Dasani. It's plain. I like to have some flavor to my water.
I like to have some minerals.
I like something like the Nestle. Nestle water.
Yeah.
The I don't know what it's called.
The chocolate water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good. The Nestle Life water, whatever it's called, delicious.
Some good stuff.
Really nice flavor.
We used to get those before we got these. I don't know why we switched.
I
guess my family's a bunch of freaks.
I bet.
Maybe they had a good deal at the store.
I mean, my family kind of is a bunch of freaks.
That's what my wife says. It pisses me off. But these were $2. I'm like, the Nestle ones were $3.
Yeah.
The $1 worth it.
Yeah. That's how my mom is, dude.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Get generic and all the other crap. Get me the good water.
I always wonder when people spend obscene amounts of money on vacations and like clothes and dates and nights out, and then they buy food and groceries that are like the worst you can buy. Like, this is stuff going into your body, and you'd think you'd put more money into those things rather than all these luxuries that we have. It's like, why buy great value milk for $2 when you can buy regular milk for $3.50?
Yeah, like Lizzie will buy like Heinz mustard and all these like condiments name brand where that all tastes the same.
Yeah.
And she'll get the Kroger water.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Let's reverse those and you'll save. Saving money? I don't think so. I caught you.
We're going to be all right.
We're fine.
Just have an event
blowing
here.
off a little steam.
Okay.
But Garrett, tell me about this Battlefield V people are talking about.
Battlefield V, it is officially announced. It has been revealed. We saw a fake version of gameplay, I believe, in the reveal trailer. Sort of a more animated version of the gameplay, but pretty much Battlefield gameplay. We know what it looks like. We played Battlefield 1. It's not totally exaggerated from what we've experienced in that game. And it's a little bizarre, for sure. Not exactly what everyone was expecting, but it is indeed World War II. But it is a creative take. Creative... I can't think of the right vocabulary to use.
It's the...
They're taking creative liberties with World War II.
It's the Inglourious Bastards as opposed to the Private Ryan version
Yeah,
of
exactly.
World War II.
So it doesn't really bother me. I'm not terribly invested in just story in Battlefield. Like I still like the idea of the anthology stories that are making a comeback. That's cool, and we'll get to see smaller, not really theaters of war, but just smaller stories from the war that aren't as well known. Albeit like, or in the vein of, say, Enemy at the Gates, like that Russian sniper story. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes.
It's pretty solid. Maybe stories like that, perhaps, on that front.
Excuse me.
That's kind of cool. I will say it's a little weird to see a World War II setting with people with bright blue face paint and prosthetic limbs running around. It's weird, but I mean, I'm not opposed to it. It's whatever. I think the gameplay is going to be super cool, and everything they've detailed sounds really cool. Like,
who cares what the multiplayer is like anyway, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they can be as
stuff.
crazy as they want. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be super fun.
I don't really care if my multiplayer is like World War II, you know, historically accurate, I guess.
Yeah, it's whatever. First and foremost, the changes they made. I like that the characters now have a bit more mobility as far as added animations as far as medics healing people is a little more timely this time around. It's a little more demanding instead of just running up to people and just like stabbing them with a needle really quick and they get up, which I like because I would always play Medic 1 because I just liked being that supportive character, but also because you would rack up an obscene amount of points just healing people left and right every 2 seconds. Yeah. So I like that you have to sort of, they said you can even drag a player behind cover if they're down and then heal them because it takes a little more time. I think that's very cool.
I like Medic can drag people.
I'm sure everyone can probably drag people. Maybe I don't see what the point of other people dragging people. Like, what would you do with them? Unless you dragged someone in your squad to another medic in your squad, that would make sense. I think that's cool. I like that you can slide now. I mean, that's nothing new for a shooter, but I think that will probably fit Battlefield's hectic scenarios for sure. So they have added weight to the weapons and the physics of the game in particular. Cool, I guess. Grand operations sound kind of cool. Operations are returning from Battlefield 1, but on a grander scale, hence the title, that take place over a period of in-game days, which is kind of cool. And depending on which rounds you win or lose, each opposing side will have benefits to those wins and losses throughout the match. So I still would love for a grand operations map to be D-Day and do it right this time around, where There's the Allies. There's the Axis.
Mm.
You battle it out on the beach is day 1. Day 2, if you win that battle, you move into France and you go over a period of certain days in the match. That'd be so awesome. That would be a terribly missed opportunity if they didn't do that.
Invaded UK.
Mm-hmm. The UK?
Or what was it, England? London?
France?
I thought, did the Nazis not invade England?
I don't think so. They invaded France.
Okay.
And the Russians invaded Belgium and Germany after that.
I really don't know that much about World War II.
Well, that's what's kind of cool about this one is that we're going to get all those smaller stories. So when they say that, they may just completely skip over something like D-Day.
I don't know. That's what upsets me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with all the smaller stories, but at least give me D-Day.
Mm-hmm.
I won't.
Because we were, like we said, we were underwhelmed with World War II's or Call of Duty World War II's D-Day mission. So I kind of liked the multiplayer map. It was kind of a dumbed down version of D-Day, which I thought was cool for multiplayer. But there's so much potential to do that just amazingly.
I want that Saving Private Ryan experience in a game.
It's 2018.
So
we know it can happen. I don't know why it hasn't happened yet, but oh well. Grand operations, fortifications are kind of cool. If a building's totally destroyed, you can actually build up fortifications around it. Or even I think if one's established, you can build up fortifications around it to defend it more. Say you're defending an objective. That's kind of cool. A bit Fortnite-y in that sense, one could say. Tides of War, I didn't really read about this because I didn't get to watch the whole reveal. I kind of watched it on silent while I was at work. These are special community events with special rewards and stuff. That's what it says.
Okay. So like, just events.
Yeah, combined arms. It's a brand new 4-player co-op mode. Players can take their custom soldier online to take part in a series of missions with other players. So combined arms are co-op missions against enemies and stuff with various objectives. Battlefield 5 will no longer have a season pass or premium edition.
That's probably the biggest news.
Yeah, I'm sure there are people out there that are very happy about that. No pay-to-win microtransactions, but there are cosmetics you can purchase with real-world money if you want them. If you want 2 robotic arms on your soldier, you can have them.
Knock yourself out.
Excuse me. I mean, I love character customization in games. Granted, it's a first-person shooter, so my character customization, the only thing that will really matter to me is what goes on my hands and my legs, maybe, because that's all you see in Battlefield.
Right.
But granted, other people will see you on the battlefield. But I'm more intrigued by third-person games with character customization because you can see all of it all the time. But I think that's cool. I'm not opposed to it. It looks hilarious, but I'm not opposed to it.
I think Battlefield has been missing this for a long time because I always liked Call of Duty more when I did play because there was more customization. And on top of that, I liked the gunplay more in that game too. But I always thought that Call of Duty did that much better than Battlefield ever has. Yeah. Even like the Battlefield menus that you go down to like change your loadouts and all that stuff. I've never liked their system of how they do that. Like you can do it in game, but you can't do it outside game. I think that was one of the Battlefields. So I think these changes are good.
I'm excited about this.
I'm fine. Like you said, I'm not the biggest Battlefield dude. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to be feeling once it comes out. As of now, I'm way more hyped for
Call of Duty.
But I'm more of like, I just like Call of Duty personally more than the Battlefield gameplay.
Yeah, I'm excited about both of these. I hope I get to play at E3. I don't know if I'll get to, but I'm really hoping I can because it's one thing to see the ridiculous reveal trailers, just chaos the whole time. But everything they've talked about, I think sounds really fun. And I would imagine they would probably have just standard like Rush or Conquest gameplay at E3 is what I would assume. Because I feel like the grand operations would be like really, really long demo sessions. I don't know if they would do that. But whatever it is, I hope I get to play because I'd love to be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
But it sounds super cool. Obviously, as we know, it's going to be a super busy fall as usual. But I'm definitely going to pick this up.
Call of Duty, then Battlefield, then Red Dead. 3 weeks, I think.
And before that, we'll have Spider-Man and Tomb Raider as well, right? So, yeah, a lot going on.
Is there no mention of a VR for Battlefield, right?
No.
What are the odds that they get one in like a free update or something?
0.
You think so?
Yeah.
What about you, Garrett?
I don't know.
Just a little small prediction.
I feel like they may have announced it.
Like they might have
if they have plans, but
maybe it's just not.
I don't know. I mean, I would like to try that in Battlefield.
If they were,
if they mentioned it before, like if it's not going to be at launch, why would they mention?
I mean, I feel like if they were still interested in doing something like that, we would have seen something for Battlefront 2.
You think
Battlefront 2?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
A VR? Is that what you said?
VR.
Battle Royale.
VR. No, Battle Royale.
Okay. They are kind of doing a little, there's a last stand type of deal at the end of
Grand Operations.
Yeah. It's like I said, VR.
I like the idea.
I kind of brought it up because, there was rumors that both Call of Duty and Battlefield would have a Battle Royale. So it seems like this one, Battlefield doesn't. So
seems like it.
I guess rumors and speculation can be wrong sometimes.
I don't think there was any evidence that was going to happen.
Yeah, there wasn't.
Yeah. But, man, the only thing I'm concerned about is having to pay for this season's pass and everything. That's kind of has me bummed for Battlefield because I want to have all the maps and everything. Right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Sorry, the joke's going right over my head right now.
This is one of those awkward silences I was talking about.
You're supposed to correct me.
I already said there was no season pass earlier.
Oh, you did? Mm-hmm. Well, shit.
That's why I didn't get the joke.
I guess so. I'm just stupid over here.
No, that's okay.
I apologize.
That's fine.
I'm working on my transitions and I just fucked it up.
That's all right.
That was a great transition.
No, that's cool though.
But in relation to that,
free updates, correct?
Yeah,
for maps.
Yeah. There are no battle pass or whatever. But you already said that, so it's okay.
That's great for EA though. They know they have to do that, and I think ultimately people will. Their anger towards Battlefront 2 will subside a bit when Battlefield 5 comes out.
There's speculation that Black Ops 4 is also not going to have a season's pass. And the only evidence I've really seen is, there's two things. They haven't talked about it yet, but then again, I don't know how soon would they come out with like talking about that kind of stuff. But the collector's edition that they have revealed, which it is a very bare bones collector's edition, and I don't mean the stuff that comes with it, but what they're talking about. If you actually look it up to pre-order, I believe it's just a box that says, "Oh, there will be a figure." They haven't figured it out yet, but in both of the collector's editions, there is nothing about coming with a season's pass or anything. So either that means there's not going to be a season's pass, or if you buy the collector's edition, you still won't get a season's pass. Yeah. Which one of those things could be very bad. So we'll see. I would not be surprised in the slightest, though, if there wasn't a season's pass. That kind of seems like something that's becoming more popular.
I agree.
Yes.
That'd be great.
At least with a game like that, just to keep the players together. Especially with the Battle Royale mode, if they're inside of that, they might be coming at it like Fortnite, having more cosmetic, that they might be racking it into where they can put the additional maps and stuff for free and not take a hit or anything.
I mean, Fortnite does a lot of those little free updates, so they'll just add a new item every week or something.
Yeah.
That's how they kind of continually update that game and make it different. So
for sure. Cool.
Absolutely. Anything you guys want to add to Battlefield before we move on?
Not really.
I think it looks cool. I'm excited to give it a shot.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see some gameplay.
Me too.
Come E3.
Yeah. Probably going to see one at EA Play. Hopefully it isn't as cringeworthy as Battlefront 2's big demo session. Hopefully we'll have another celebrity matchup of some sort.
Yeah, I remember seeing all these what are they called? Personalities at the EA thing playing Battlefield for their live stream.
Yeah.
Like a Muselic.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah.
2 weeks. Very close.
Yeah. It's crazy to think it's only 2 weeks.
Yeah, so according to multiple sources, a voice actor potentially leaked the production of Modern Warfare 4. Let's say this is true. Would you guys be opposed to Modern Warfare 4?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Me neither. I think it's time.
I'm hyped for that. I think it's time. It's the plan that I predicted a while ago. We got
modern,
a little
future,
modern future, the past.
Yep.
Just keep doing that.
I'm into it, man.
Yep.
I'm into it.
I want that.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's always the voice actors leaking these games, man. Their damn LinkedIn pages. That should be in their contract when they sign it. Like, you cannot update your LinkedIn page until this game is officially announced.
Yeah.
That should be in their contract when they sign on to these games.
Yeah.
Not that it really matters, because I mean, I don't think that's a crazy prediction, even if it wasn't leaked, because it wouldn't really surprise that many people. But I think that's awesome. I'm totally into the idea of Modern Warfare 4.
Mm-hmm. So, Preston, would you consider Black Ops 4 like in the future still? Because isn't it really? I don't know.
Yeah, it's futuristic. It takes place in between 2 and 3 of Black Ops.
Oh, so they're going back.
Yeah, it isn't. It isn't beyond Black Ops 3. It takes the narrative that's spread across all the modes. It takes place in between Ops 2 and Ops 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just not like Infinite Warfare future. It's
no.
More contained.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Next story.
There's no. I could have. I hope they would have. I'm one of the minority that would have actually liked for them to do an Infinite Warfare 2.
Me too. Yeah, I would have really liked that.
Just purely for campaign wise, because. Like I've said a million times, I love that campaign.
They did pretty well, though.
Now, could they apply? I think they could. I mean, I even like, the flying around and the going through the asteroid fields and the space stations are really cool. The setting was great, but it would be on that, as we know, the characters we really liked a lot. So if they can apply that same strength and writing to Modern Warfare 4, I think I'll be just as satisfied.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know if they could go back to Infinite Warfare after all that bad publicity.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It was a little.
It would be a contest just to see if they could dislike that reveal trailer more than the Infinite Warfare
Call of Duty
trailer.
in space again.
Yeah,
definitely.
So I get it.
But very hyped for that. Love Infinity Ward campaigns.
You and me both. Hopefully those Naughty Dog boys stick around for this one.
Mm-hmm.
So Ubisoft has officially announced their E3 lineup, which I don't really like how companies are doing this now. I think they're so horrified of leaks that they're like, let's just get it out there before anyone else leaks it.
In their defense, all the stuff that people are talking about is very like what's the word I'm looking for? They're like known games. It's like obvious they were going to be there.
Yeah, but I still like, even if we predicted it to a T what we're going to see, I still like going in not knowing exactly how it's going to be structured.
And it does says and some new exciting reveals.
I mean,
but to no one's surprise,
Splinter Cell's not on that list, Jacob.
I guess they're not covering it.
They have a surprise.
That must be
so it's happening on June 11th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. They're showing off Tom Clancy's The Division 2, as they announced previously. Beyond Good and Evil 2, which is probably still 8 years away. Skull and Bones, which is probably even further out after the debacle that Sea of Thieves was.
They better add a playable character in that game, or there's no hope.
What, Skull and Bones?
Oh yeah.
What do you mean a playable character?
You don't have a character. It's just ship battles.
I mean, there's obviously characters on the ship, but you are technically just controlling the ship. Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah, I get it. Starlink Battle for Atlas. I have no idea what that is. Transference. I have no idea what that is. New For Honor content. And of course,
keep the game going.
Yep, some exciting new reveals. Splinter Cell being one of them. We've called it. Everyone knows it. It's happening. So yeah. Cool, I guess.
What if it doesn't happen though?
Are
you guys ready to face that reality?
We've been facing that reality for a few years now.
But you're so excited now because you're so sure that it's going to be there.
I'm positive it's going to be there.
Splinter Cell will be there.
It definitely will be there.
I just don't want you guys to
just like I think Skate 4 is going to be at E3 or
I don't know about that, but I have a much better feeling about Splinter Cell.
I'm on the fence, of course, about Skate, but I'm leaning towards it being there.
It's fine.
Kingdom Hearts 3 will be playable at Square Enix's booth.
Oh boy, I hope you get to play this.
I will not get to.
Oh yes.
I already know who's going to be playing it for
COD. I even want to go now.
I may be able to sneak in if I have some free time, maybe. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm so excited.
I imagine it'll be the same demo that was just previewed. Probably the Galaxy Toy Story mission.
Give me a release date, Square, please.
We're going to hear it.
I got to know it's coming.
Their little video announcement video at E3. It's going to be announced there. Yeah.
Are they doing like a Nintendo style thing, or are they having?
Yeah, it's like a Nintendo Direct style video.
I didn't know
that. Techland's Dying Light 2 is rumored to be revealed at E3. Preston, did you play all of Dying Light?
Yes.
And you kind of liked it, didn't you?
Well, I liked it a lot.
Yeah. That's cool. I always wanted to play Dying Light 1. I don't know if I'll ever go back and play it now, but everyone had great things to say about it, and a potential sequel could be cool. And I've heard there's a rumored battle royale attached to it. which could be kind of cool. The parkour running around the favela with zombies chasing after you, but in a battle royale, that could be pretty sweet.
I feel like if it came out at the same time the last one did, that'd probably be really good. Like this coming January or February.
Could be potentially competing with Days Gone.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Or, yeah. Yeah, I can't think of anything else coming out right now.
Neither can I.
Time, so.
Well, Mark Cuban believes Fortnite's immense popularity is tanking Overwatch League. Jacob, I purely added this because I wanted to hear your take on this. He thinks Overwatch League is doomed because of the popularity of Fortnite.
Who said this? Mark Cuban?
Mark Cuban, yeah.
Is Mark Cuban invested in Overwatch?
He's invested in esports, particularly.
I think the Dallas Mavericks partnered with the Envious esports group to create the Dallas Fuel. So he has money invested. So, I don't know, man. I mean, Fortnite's obviously insanely popular right now. That Ninja streamer, that guy pulls as many viewers as the Overwatch League does, and it's just one guy. Yeah, but he's huge though.
I know
he's the only guy getting 100,000 views on Twitch.
Yeah, there's a couple teams that are. I think a couple Fortnite teams have been put together, professional teams.
That's what's weird about video games and esports in general is that next year, for all we know, Overwatch could be just irrelevant.
That's not gonna happen, Rest.
I'm saying it like that. It could though. Whereas like
it could
basketball is not gonna. There's no sport's gonna come up and overtake basketball. Yeah. And
I mean, the thing is, Blizzard's already confirmed that there's, I think, 4 to 6 new teams for the Overwatch League next year. Like,
I think Overwatch is going to become no. Yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying with video games how there's constantly other sports, in that sense being put out consistently. It's just, I mean, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, like I don't know how to combat that.
I mean, it's going to be. I don't know. It's tough. I mean, Call of Duty's. I mean, you have all these games that are like big in esports, but they obviously just get smaller over time.
Yeah.
So I mean, the same will probably happen to Overwatch League. To what extent, I don't really know. I don't know how big like the Fortnite esports thing is going to be because they announced that thing where they're hosting tournaments or something for like $1 million or something, or they're putting that much money towards it. I think it's 100 million actually. They have a lot of money over there.
I could see.
I just wonder if these investors that are investing in like Overwatch League, if they will continuously invest in other teams to just kind of keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the plan, is to make it a huge league, just kind of like the NFL or something. So
Overwatch League.
It's an international league. Yeah, I think there's confirmed that there's going to be more European and at least one more Korean team next season. So.
That's pretty rad, dude.
Yeah.
I could see Fortnite esports teams like squads of 4 being insane. Like imagine the squad that has put together certain plays where they build certain fortifications where they're all in unison.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen those videos where there's just people in high towers fighting, shooting each other,
just building things like rapidly. Like what if these teams made plays in Fortnite where they build certain fortifications for certain scenarios and they're all like duking it out like that? It could be just madness to behold.
Yeah, there's probably like a certain way to best optimize your gameplay, and that's how everyone builds or something.
So again, I'm not invested in Fortnite, but that has some potential there, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I watch people play it on Twitch. I've still yet to play it myself.
Fortnite.
Yeah,
I like watching high-level Fortnite players play. It's very entertaining.
Yeah, it's just mind-boggling. I could never play that game like that. That's why I don't get into it. I'm like, I'm just gonna get wrecked.
I mean, apparently there's like ways you can keybind the building mechanics to make
That's
it
what
not
I've heard.
that bad.
Yeah.
So
I haven't tried it myself.
Still, it's the mental thing of it. Just knowing
it's like,
what
should I be
do.
building or should I be shooting at this guy right now?
Yeah. So. And just being able, like, if your platform is shot out from under you, to just instinctively know that you have to build right below you and continue to go up and stuff. It's just like a feel that you have to.
It's like total muscle memory after a while.
From playing that game just nonstop. And that's the big thing for me is I just can't play a game like that nonstop. I like to bounce between. I like to play the new releases. I can't get just crazy good at one game because I just don't think that's really what I really look for in a game. I like to play everything that comes out.
Yeah.
So
I think that's where we're opposites. Me and
Oh,
you.
really?
I play a few. Well, I play more than a few new releases, but I play certain games a lot.
Well, some games that I do like to go back to, like Overwatch or something, those have mechanics, but I'll probably lose, but I know I can be competent because at the base of it, I just have to shoot and use my stuff accordingly. Where in Fortnite, building is something like you have to get good at. If you
got to play it a lot to get good at it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's kind of an outlier in games that you can just go. I mean, you can do whatever you can go play it for.
It's probably easier just to go pick up like PUBG. And
Exactly.
Enjoy that.
Exactly. Yep.
I get that.
Speaking of getting better at Fortnite, some Fortnite players are hiring buddies. It's got like a buddy program or bodyguards essentially for a certain dollar amount per hour to train them to be better Fortnite players. Certain Fortnite experts are accepting money via the internet to go into a match and teach someone.
You through a raid or something.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, people are making money doing that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And very interesting. That game is just a monster. Truly amazing to behold. That's the thing about Fortnite is I'm not even a fan, but I just always add news stories from it each week because the game just continues to fascinate me. It's wild, uncontrollable success. So amazing. God of War sold 5 million units since launch.
Yikes. That's a lot.
It's great. Very successful so far. That's beautiful. I'm glad it's succeeding.
I've heard people, or not heard, I've read some comments making fun of God of War for only of selling 5 million copies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because that's and when you look at the user base of people with PS4s, 70 to 80 million, that's not a big percentage, 5 million.
What's
not at the moment.
What's the best-selling PS4 game? Is that Uncharted 4?
Best-selling first, like
just like total copies sold. Do we know that?
Yeah, first party. You mean?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, because if not first party, I believe it's Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Sorry, that's what I meant.
First party, I would assume Uncharted overall.
That's my guess.
Yeah, I can't think of another one that would have sold more.
I think God of War might beat it. It's got to.
It's on track to, but we'll see.
I know it's God of War is the fastest, right? It was the fastest.
Yes, it's the fastest. It sold 3 million in 3 days, whereas I think it took Uncharted for a week to sell that much.
It took a month to get another couple million.
Yeah,
it's still 5 million copies. That's
that short amount of time is pretty good.
And $60 each. It's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. Yeah. That brings us to community questions. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for the time you took to send us questions each and every week. Can't thank you enough. If you want to send us questions for this show or Ask IOG, which will return this summer, you can send them to us in one of 3 places. You can email us at ItsObviousGaming@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at @obvious_gaming or submit your questions in the Ask IOG section on our Discord channel. And if you want your questions read publicly on the internet, always include the hashtag AskIOG so that we know you want it read on the show.
Uncharted 4 is number 1, 8.7 million copies.
Okay.
Which if God of War keeps it up, it should top that.
It's done that in a month.
Number 2 is Horizon Zero Dawn, was 7.6. Then third place, God of War.
Man, I should have predicted all these because I wanted to say my predictions were that Uncharted sold 8, Horizon 7. I should have said that, but I didn't.
Is this right? Wow. Apparently, God of War has sold more copies than The Witcher 3 on PS4.
Oh, that's outrageous. What are you people doing? Go play The Witcher 3.
Based on this Wikipedia article.
Oh, so, I could have wrote that.
You could have.
I wrote it. That's how I knew the
now
answers.
This article says Horizon Zero Dawn is the best selling first party franchise on PS4.
Who do we even believe anymore?
Who do you trust on the internet, guys?
I thought we could trust Wikipedia.
Who knows? That's what Wikipedia said. So I don't care enough to go.
I only trust everyone on Twitter collectively.
Yeah. Oh, right.
First one comes from Aaron Cantu. Aaron says, "What's up, boys? I've been listening for a while now and love you guys."
Wow, thank you very much.
We love you too, Aaron. Nice. Genuinely my favorite gaming podcast out there. I listened to your podcast today and heard Preston talking about how he just got into Warframe I got really excited after hearing this, as I used to be a huge player on PS4, and now I'm inspired to jump back in. A major reason why I played is because it reminds me a lot of my childhood favorite franchise, Bionicles. With different warframes having different abilities, looks, characteristics, I can't help but feel nostalgia while playing it. I guess my question is, do you guys have any games you've played purely because of a connection like this? Also, if any of you or anyone from the community wants to jump in with me on PS4, let me know. I also loved Bionicles as a kid.
Yeah, that is an interesting comparison that I can totally see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I did play that this week. I forgot about that.
I don't think I have a connection like that.
That reminds me.
I don't.
I mean, there are toys that I played with that were turned into games, kind of like Lego games,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But I can't really think of anything unique like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
What about you, Garrett?
Nothing. I loved Bionicles, the original ones specifically.
Mm.
So I remember my friend got those for his birthday one year, and it was one of our neighbors in my neighborhood, and I was obsessed with them. I played with them more than he did. Then I asked my parents for some for my birthday.
Yeah.
I know there's a red one, a blue one, a green one, a brown one, a yellow one.
They came in those tubes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think there may have been a purple one.
They were so cool.
They were. I loved them.
I don't know
They had the masks. You were meant to pop them off with the attacks of the other Bionicles.
Yeah.
The wheel on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't have any. I remember playing at your house with them.
Bionicles were an extension of Lego, weren't they?
Yes.
Did you know they turned that into a show?
Yeah. I think there was a movie at one point too.
Yeah. Wow.
Bionicles. Cool, dude.
Who made Bionicles?
I think it was Lego.
Lego?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Aaron, thank you for your question. I feel bad I don't have a connection like that to a certain video game, but yeah, I love Bionicles at least.
I feel like the Bionicles were... Oh, dear.
Dang it, I didn't put my phone on airplane mode.
Oh, no.
What does that mean?
It means the video's tanked.
Oh, no.
Oh, I can't deny his call either. That's the Masquerade guy. I might have to take that. We'll see. Hey. I hope he's not calling for me to fill in at a show tonight. I'll have to say no. If he calls again, I'm gonna have to take that call.
Okay.
But the next one's from Sam Harris. One sec. I apologize to any video listeners. You are in the dark now. But next one comes from Sam Harris. Let's see. He says, "Hey fellers, how in tarnation are you? I myself am
Howdy."
Yeah.
Well, shoot.
I myself am finer than a polecat being dragged by a whippoorwillow.
Oh,
Anywho, here's my
rats.
question. I was truly inspired by your story, Garrett, about meeting a musician you look up to. So, if you were to put your favorite band's music into any game franchise or game, which one would you choose? Thank you kindly, and for your entertainment and wonderful content. Now it's time for me to... Now it's time for me to saddle up and ride off this cliff of despair. See you fellers later.
Thank you for the great question, Sam. Everyone's just gonna get on their phones.
I'm gonna let you guys answer that one. I would put Ghost Inside's music in like a skateboarding game or something.
It's pretty
Okay.
cool.
Skate 4. So you guys get through those. I'll be right back.
I'd put Linkin Park and Stardew Valley.
Dude, what are you doing? That's my band.
I beat you to it.
No. I would put Linkin Park in World of Warcraft because I used to, when I was like playing WoW and growing up, there was people always made Linkin Park montage made World of Warcraft montage videos with Linkin Park music in it. Okay. So it always reminds me of that game.
Okay. Would that fit the aesthetics of?
No, not at all.
Okay. I'm trying to think of a band I listened to that it would like fit the game, but I can't really think of it.
If we want to do that, let's see. What's like maybe like Cyberpunk, new Cyberpunk coming out. I know I have no idea what that game even is yet, but maybe that would fit. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an excellent question though.
What about you? Isn't your favorite band The Devil Wears Prada?
Yeah. I don't know of any game they would go into.
Maybe like Doom or something.
It's not heavy enough for Doom.
Maybe not. That genre is kind of tricky, I guess.
Yeah, it is. I can't. Yeah, that's a hard one. That's a hard one.
Let's move on to the next question.
Okay, this one's from Matthew Durkin. Hey, bad boys. Hey, Matthew. When do you think we will get an 80s era drug dealing game? Watched Scarface recently on Netflix right now, by the way. And damn, do I miss games like Vice City and Scarface The World Is Yours. There is so much iconic pop culture to work with. The music, the fly suits, and let's not forget, pause, the hairy chests with gold chains. Also, what other era would you like to see in an open world game? Love ya and fuck Mafia 3.
Oh, God. A sharp right turn.
Matthew Durkin.
He's painting such a beautiful question. Question. And he just fuck Mafia.
So when will we see an 80s era drug dealing game? 2032 is my prediction.
That's a long time away.
Yeah, it's a long time. But I think that year's a good time for this.
Yeah, I like where your head's at.
A lot of people have speculated that the next Grand Theft Auto could potentially go back to Vice City, which I think that would be awesome.
I would be into that.
Yeah,
that would make me a little wet in the pants.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's been a while since we've had a retro Grand Theft Auto. We had San Andreas, then 4, and then 5. You know, that's 3. And I think we've only had one. We've only had one retro Grand Theft Auto period with Vice City, unless San Andreas took place like in the 90s or something, and I didn't know. Did San Andreas even come out in the 90s, or was that
no? It was early 2000s, I believe.
Okay, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if Grand Theft Auto went back to Vice City.
Yeah, I'd really like that. I like the whole, I guess, retro, we're calling it, kind of vibe that game
80s
had.
vibe, so. For sure. Also, what era would you like to see in an open world game? I would say the 50s, 60s, or a little bit after like post World War II. But Mafia 2 did that. I would still like to see that, but I would like it to be, as much as I love Mafia 2, the open world did absolutely not need to exist. It was pointless. It was just a drive from this mission to this mission. So I'd like to see almost like a Grand Theft Auto set in that time period. I think it'd be awesome. Sure. Driving in your car, listening to big band music. Being a part of the mafia and stuff, just doing side missions and crap. I think it'd be fun.
I've always wanted, I know we already have a good bit of these, but I always love fantasy open worlds. It's my favorite kind of setting. And
you should play Oblivion, dude.
I have played Oblivion. It's a great game. Didn't play all of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fantasy is totally an era. In our,
definitely
world.
An era.
So yeah,
I wish we could go back.
Bring me up to speed on this question again. It's about settings we'd like to see,
or what era would you like to see an open world game set in?
Say fantasy.
We've seen that, brah.
Oh, dude.
What?
It's been so long.
What era?
Said fantasy.
Have you ever heard of Two Worlds, you idiot? What was I gonna say?
In the critically acclaimed sequel, Two Worlds 2.
Yeah. Two Worlds 2.
Did you know before that game came out, it was being touted as like, it's on the box. It says
the Oblivion Killer
on the freaking.
That's why I rented it from Blockbuster, wherever
IGN
it was.
did Two World Tuesdays leading up to that game.
Two World Tuesdays?
Yeah, dropping like information before Two Worlds was hype before it came out, dude.
Wow.
Yep.
Man, I didn't even get 20 minutes into it. I took the running animation alone. I turned it off.
I've watched playthroughs of it, and I'll never forget the first 5 minutes. They do the like Monty Python joke, like it's just a flesh wound. Is in like the first 2 minutes of that game.
I wouldn't mind seeing the 40s or something like the 50s. No, we've seen Mafia. Mafia is like the 50s or 60s, isn't it? Or is it the 70s?
It's the 70s. He comes back. The Mafia 2 takes place
in the 50s or something.
Yeah, he comes back from World War II.
Okay, so we've seen that then.
Yeah, but that was my answer. I want it to be done correctly.
Right,
because Mafia 2's open world was
pretty weak.
Worse than weak. It didn't need to exist.
That's what I've heard.
Mafia 2's open world was...
Talking about 2 or 3?
2.
Okay.
Mafia 2's open world was just something you could drive in. There were almost no... I think there were collectibles, Playboy magazines that you could go find.
What eras we've seen... Think about it. We've seen Primal.
Yeah.
We've seen... like the 1800s, 1700s with Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
We've seen the Renaissance period. Think about all the Assassin's Creed alones there as we've seen. And then Mafia, we've seen the 50s. We've seen the 70s. We've seen the future. We're about to get Cyberpunk, which we haven't seen. Well, we've sort of seen that in like Deus Ex and stuff, but that's like semi-open world. I think Cyberpunk would be a good answer for me because we haven't seen that broad of a scope of an open world in that setting before.
As far as the games that I have played, the 40s, 50s is really the only era I can think of that I personally haven't played an open world game that has done that time period justice. If there are any games out there, please let me know because I would like to play those. But Mafia 2 is the only one that I can think of. And like I said, I did not particularly enjoy the open world of that game. Great game, though. Much better than Mafia 3.
Maybe Mafia 4 will deliver. If we get another one.
Maybe.
I will say this is the one thing I'll give Mafia 3. I really liked the idea of the setting. Really liked the idea. And I also, I enjoyed the game when I had my suppressed handgun. That was very, very satisfying being stealthy and popping guys with that pistol. Other than that, didn't really blow my mind at all. So.
No. Very interesting story, though, in that game. The gameplay was just such a slog. I just couldn't get through it to get to the next cutscene. Yeah.
Welcome to New Bordeaux. Great soundtrack, too. I'm really bad at mimicking.
You played a lot more of that game than I did.
I got about halfway through it.
Yeah, I played like maybe.
No, you read the rest.
Oh, I would love to.
Okay.
Thank you. This is from Jack Waltz.
Is it Waits or Waltz?
Waltz. There's an L in there. Unless that's a capital I for some reason.
That's an I. It looks like an L, though. It's Jack Waits. You have to look really closely. You can see the slit.
You're right. Jack Waits.
Way to call him out.
What villains would you like to see in Spider-Man? PS4 wants to clarify. I hope Mysterio shows up. Keep it classy, gentlemen.
I think Mysterio is going to be there. And while we're on the topic, before we continue on this, let's talk about our hype, or maybe not so much, for Jake Gyllenhaal playing Mysterio in the new Spider-Man film.
Do you know where my hype is?
What's that?
Do you know where my hype is for that?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
It's up there.
Yeah, I figured it would be.
I love Jake Gyllenhaal.
I don't get why. I think I've heard some people make arguments as to like, why would you use Jake Gyllenhaal in a villain role of this movie where he could be so much more? But I like the idea.
In that, like, watch Nightcrawler.
Exactly.
Like that. Yeah, he can pull that stuff. He can pull a creepy villain guy off.
Now, how are they going to... It's so funny when I explained this out loud to Casey. She was like, that sounds so stupid. she was like, what is Mysterio? I'm like, oh, well, Mysterio back in the old days was a master of like visual effects and like trickery. Like he could trick Spider-Man into thinking like something was happening where he was like a... Gosh, I always knock these over. He's like a Hollywood guy that would pull all these Hollywood tricks to freak Spider-Man out and do stuff. And I was like, but in a traditional sense, like today, he'll be a master of like actual visual effects and like filmmaking or something. And I tried to explain this to her, and she was like, that sounds stupid. And I was like, I guess it kind of does. I don't know how they're going to do it, but Mysterio looks cool.
Strap him in a movie.
She was like, what does he look like? I'm like, he has a fishbowl in his head and he wears a cape. And she was like, what?
That's what I'm most interested in, is if
they make him look like.
Yeah, well, what the redesign is going to be, because I've never
on a comic book page he looks cool, but imagine that in a movie.
I mean, we've never seen a redesign of Mysterio, have we?
No, I think he may have been in Spider-Man 2 back in the day, the game.
He was, but he looked the same.
Like the traditional version.
He had the fishbowl.
I mean, think about it, he could have like a space-like bowl helmet on his head.
I'd still be so dumb.
Yeah. I mean, they really redesigned Vulture, and I thought Vulture looked pretty cool in the movie, so...
I think they ditched the bowl.
Yeah, they're going to ditch the bowl probably. Yeah. Maybe they'll have like a hood. Even that's kind of pushing it, I think.
What if he has like a really big fish bowl?
They'll make
massive.
What if it's a fish?
What if it'll be some hologram shit on its head?
Probably,
they're going to go super sci-fi
like
with
Zordon?
Yeah. Sure.
That'd be cool.
But what villains what do you guys want to see in Spider-Man PS4?
Let's talk about the ones we know are confirmed.
Mr. Negative, Shocker.
Yeah.
So,
Kingpin.
And Kingpin. Yeah.
Speculation for Green Goblin or Hobgoblin are in there potentially.
Harry Norman Osborn is running for mayor.
Yep.
I think that could be an interesting mechanic with either his son or him being Green Goblin and him also running for mayor. I could see some really cool story things happen with that going on.
I'd like to see Doc Ock.
Isn't Black Cat confirmed?
I don't know.
I think there are collectibles.
I think she is.
I think Black Cat is confirmed.
I would like to see Norman Osborn, not Norman Osborn, Otto Octavius with his arms, but in control of his arms. Maybe you never fight him, but he's in there with his arms and they're working.
Okay. Yeah,
kind of
maybe
different.
like a potential sequel or something.
Yeah.
What about what was that guy in the Amazing Spider-Man 2? Like Electro? Is that his name?
Electro?
Yeah. Who's Shocker? Like, are they similar at all? Shocker and Electro?
So there is a DLC called The Heist, which apparently is going to be focusing on Black Cat.
Electro's electricity flows through him and he can project it.
Yeah.
And fuse through things, whereas Shocker just has those gloves that just charges them up, and when he punches something, that electrical force like hurts and damages things. So
what about the Rhino?
I've never been a huge Rhino fan. I don't need him.
He's been in pretty much. He's such an easy villain to throw in. I think that's why he's been in pretty much every Spider-Man game. Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I don't really see him in this game personally.
Me neither.
That's just a gut feeling I have. I don't see him in there. I would love for them to do more obscure villains, kind of like with Mr. Negative. But did you guys say any other ones when I was looking at Black Cat that I didn't hear?
Ones I'd like to see Dr. Octopus.
I have a very good feeling about seeing him.
Me too.
I think he will be in the game for sure.
Vulture may be in there.
I think Green Goblin will be in the game.
I think so too.
For sure. Or at least maybe this game is an origin story of Green Goblin. Maybe something with him running for mayor, Spider-Man like screws that up and he doesn't get it, and then he wants to kill Spider-Man or something like that. I don't know. I could see something like that happening. Yeah, I don't know. These are all like safe answers.
I mean, I said Electro.
Yeah. The one that would surprise me, like imagine this E3 demo weaves in out of nowhere like Venom popping up or something. Could you imagine the reaction?
Oh yeah,
like from the crowd or something. If Venom
you don't even see Venom, you just like see the black
trailer.
shit.
Yeah, exactly. Some like a hint of Venom. I think that would be the hype train would just fly off a cliff if that happened.
That would make me a lot more hyped for the game. Not that I'm not excited for it.
I agree. Continuing on. Brendan Clark. Hey, gentlemen. Thanks for making Mondays bearable. No problem. I'm certain you remember when a certain company emphasized the importance of pride and accomplishment within the realm of video games last fall. My question, which game, current and or previous gen, gave you the greatest feeling of pride and accomplishment? Jacob, working out is not an acceptable answer, but you should keep it up. Much love from Brindo.
So that's an interesting question.
Mine would probably be, and
Dark Souls 3.
For you?
Most recently, yeah.
Yeah, I would have to say Bloodborne for me. So, and Dark Souls 2 for you, right?
I liked platinuming both Doom and Ratchet and Clank. Just platinuming any game, I think, gives me a sense of pride and accomplishment. But specifically, like a game that really genuinely challenged me at certain points, and I felt good about completing it. Like I really completed something was Dark Souls 3 most recently.
Yeah, that was the feeling that I had with Bloodborne, just taking down the Queen of Yharnam. I believe that was the complete final boss, the last one I needed in the Chalice dungeon. Just that entire fight, just seeing that last tick of the bar go off, I think I stood up in my chair and just like threw my controller in the air. I was so hyped. Just for me, that being like the first Souls game that I really got into, and it was extremely hard, for me getting through those final Chalice dungeons, especially the one with your health being halved and fighting that alien thing in the room. That was just beating that boss alone was I felt so much accomplishment just sticking with it nonstop and then finally beating him. And I don't think I've really had a challenge like that or felt that way beating a game since then.
Did you play 3? Dark Souls 3?
I did.
Did you play the whole thing?
No.
Okay.
I got to the boss before the final boss.
Okay.
And he just feasted upon me. And I think right after that, Uncharted 4 came out, if I'm not mistaken. And once that came out,
right.
Yeah, just I'm all
That's what
aboard
happened to me
Uncharted
too.
4.
I was right at the I was in that secret area, the dragon place.
The dragons.
I killed the dragon, but I didn't get I didn't kill the guy
the unnamed
on the
king.
Dragon.
Yeah, Nameless King.
Nameless King. Yeah.
Have you guys seen the playthroughs where the guy doesn't get hit one time?
Mm-hmm.
I skipped through one of those and it just blew my mind, dude. He beat the Nameless King like it was just some scrub, weakling creature. Just destroyed it.
Yeah, I love watching
that dude's
speedruns on Dark Souls. Speedruns of Dark Souls is really cool.
That same guy did a no-hit playthrough, I think, of God of War on Give Me God of War difficulty.
I think I saw that
the most recent God of War.
Yeah,
I saw someone that didn't get hit once against the
Queen Valkyrie.
Yeah, the Queen Valkyrie.
It's probably the same dude. Yeah, he beat God of War on Give Me God of War difficulty. I don't think it was a no-hit. It was a level 1. He was level 1 the entire game. And then he beat the Queen Valkyrie without getting hit one time on that difficulty. Yeah. That guy is just like a superhero when it comes to third-person action games.
It's almost like he's almost like a savant in the sense where he can predict exactly how the AI is going to react. It's like he learns what they can do, and can predict when they're going to do those. It's
things. Like that, and I think his reflexes are just
out of this world.
Yeah, just crazy.
It's almost like he can see it coming before it happens.
Yeah,
my reaction's so slow when I play games sometimes.
It's
like, I see something coming, I can't do anything.
It's one of his playthroughs. He got hit on the final boss in Dark Souls 3, and he had to start all the way over.
Man.
So, and this guy goes from Dark Souls 1 through 3, beating all the bosses and DLC without getting hit one time.
That's a real accomplishment.
It's crazy.
And he has it documented on the internet, which even better.
Mm-hmm. I have no accomplishments compared to that.
Me either, man. Mine are nothing compared to that.
Yeah, I'm like, I beat Bloodborne.
Yeah,
but that would be one of mine.
He just destroyed Bloodborne.
Very cool.
But I think that's it for the community questions. Thanks for joining us, guys. This was the ItsObviousGaming podcast. Please subscribe to us over at youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming. You're not going to regret that decision because, man, do we have some videos coming out this summer.
Yeah, we do.
And with it being summer, we'll probably be doing more streams. So check us out at Twitch. I used to go into Twitch and search for ItsObvioGaming.
Yep, twitch.tv/ItsObviousGaming.
Yes, I will be bringing back streaming this week.
That's exciting.
Overwatch!
Maybe one day. I was thinking about starting Rise of the Tomb Raider on stream.
Ooh,
that'd be pretty cool.
That's a good game.
Be a good excuse just to play something new. Game.
Jacob, when the 1180 graphics cards come out, do you want to buy my 1080 Ti?
No. I'll buy it. 1180?
I'm just kidding. You'll buy it. No, you won't. I was just kidding. I'm not going to upgrade. It's not worth it.
Are you not?
No.
You could, though.
I mean, I could, but why would I?
You could.
I guess I could.
But you don't have the best thing anymore.
Hear that, bitch?
I technically don't now. There's the Titan V that's out.
All the more reason to keep upgrading, you know?
Nah, I'm good. My card's plenty fine. Please subscribe to us on the Apple Podcasting app and leave us a review. If you would be so kind to do so. It takes literally 5 seconds. The next time you're squeezing one out on the toilet, please leave us a review. It benefits us so much. Also, like the YouTube video, comment on as well, so it gets upticked in the analytics. That would help us out tremendously. And please just look in the description down below and follow us on any social media pages and join our Discord. We have a rad bunch of people on there that would love to meet some new friends and have a good old time having conversations about anything under the sun.
Indeed.
But it's been an absolute blast discussing video games with you gentlemen this fine Sunday evening. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Likewise.
Thank you, Preston.
Goodbye, everybody.
See ya.
Have a great week.